Okay, I'm back. All right, so I am doing The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. I am on week one. Week one. And all I did was read, I don't even know how many pages, a dozen pages, right? And took notes. I did not do really any of the exercises, except for the ones that were kind of woven in the flow, right? But I didn't do like the major ones. I will be, because I have a week. But right now it was just the reading and summary, which I am going to share with you. So let me tell you, as I said, week one, and a wide range of emotions. First of all, I celebrate experiencing emotion, right? And then to have several different ones within a limited time period and recognize them, I thought, yay me. So this is all good stuff. Anyway, week one, recovering a sense of safety. Fair enough. So basically what she's doing here, she's talking about the shadow artist. I really struggle with the artist reference. I know the book is called The Artist Way, but this is my process, and I'm struggling with artist. So she speaks of the shadow artist and how they basically live in that constant state of judgment of themselves and blaming themselves because they're not living their passion. They're not a painter or a writer like they want to be. They're not an artist. They listened to the censors. Remember, she talks about censors being what we call committee of assholes. And so anyway, she talks about how they basically live a life where they feel like they have no purpose and they're not really fulfilled, which is a really shitty way to feel. And then if we take away that whole artist part of it, right, just consider people who are in the shadows. Yeah. People who are, fighting addictions of various other kinds. People who are hurt and lonely on the streets. Those people. Everybody. Shadows. Anyway. And then she said something, though, that really kind of hit home for me. It's funny the things that hit home for me when I don't expect it to. But she did. So what she said here was these shadow artists, people who live in the shadows, they just want to paint. They just want to do art. They want to make music. They want to draw, but they're afraid to take themselves seriously. What? That's what I said too. Wait, what? Oh my goodness. Afraid to take themselves seriously. Kind of goes with what I wrote this morning in the morning pages, and about how I was all proud of myself, yay me for being brave, right? And then, whoo, committee of assholes start nattering, and of course tell me that I'm stupid and a loser and all that nice, wonderful things. Don't worry, we had the shark, came in there and crossed out loser because I'm brave. Anyway, so the way it kind of linked back though, and not taking themselves seriously. And I thought, oh my goodness, if I didn't take myself seriously, I wouldn't be doing this actually right now, or in the job that I'm doing. And then it's really funny because I did go through several years of being a fraud, living in that complete state of terror that people will find out that I'm a fraud. Oh, we all know that. We all have that, or many of us anyway. I did. Anyway, point is, in all my ramblings, and I warned you I was going to ramble. The point is, she's basically saying that they are afraid to take themselves seriously. And that really hit home because I know that was something that I was doing. I was afraid to take myself seriously. She does make a really good point and I guess recommendation is that to move from the shadows into the light of creativity, we must learn to take ourselves seriously with gentle, deliberate, and effort. We must nurture the artist child. Again, I have a hard time with artist, and of course I replace it with inner child, which I think is the same. It's just a language thing in my head I got to get over. Inner child. Okay. So I thought that was really interesting. I did. The afraid to take themselves seriously. That's also, I felt that. Okay. Then she says that creativity is play, but for shadow artists, people who are in the shadows, learning to allow themselves to play is hard work. That there made me go, oh, yes, I don't know how to play. I don't. This is something that's actually a real thing. And I look back when my children were little and I think, did I play with them properly? Did I do it right? Like, I just don't remember playing. So I totally related to that. So that whole not afraid to take themselves seriously and the not being able to play, yeah, I totally related to. Okay, so that was kind of like a good connection, and I've kind of processed it in my head. Okay. She then goes on about talking about protecting that inner child within, and basically how when we first let our child play, which in her reference is doing art, right? When we first let our inner child out to play, it's going to be messy. It's going to be mixed, matched, mumbled, jumbled, flunk, right? I mean, you're not going to paint your first picture and it's going to sell for $1 million. Actually, you could totally make that happen, but that's a whole other session. But no, seriously, right? It's gonna take you a while to like figure out the paints and the textures and the sounds of the notes and the measurements of the flower and all that kind of wonderful stuff. And so it's not gonna be nice. But you know what she said? That wait, I'm trying to see. Or am I getting ahead of myself? No, we're all good. I'm getting there. Okay, anyway. So what she said is that in the beginning, it could look like mess and puddles or films that look like they were unedited home movies. I laughed over that. Why did I laugh over that? Because, hello, look what I'm doing right now. These are like totally unedited home movies. And you just wait. You give me a little bit. And when I figure out how to do all that editing stuff and putting things together and all that kind of stuff, it will be way different. But then it wouldn't be authentic. And that wouldn't really be true to self. Anyway, that will be a whole other discussion. Point is, I laughed because, hello, right? But basically what she's saying is that, so when we try to let our inner child play and we perceive ourselves as being failures, or we can't paint, or you're not a writer, you can't even spell, or you think you're a singer, you can't carry a tune, all that kind of stuff, that is our shadow self. Oh, that's a good one. I'll say that instead of artist, shadow self. That kind of, we'll just, whatever, I'll work on that. That is them basically hearing the censors who are saying, you can't do this. This is not what you want. Wrong. What? Abort. You can't do this. You're a loser. You can't paint. You can't even draw a stick man. Whatever it may be. This is the committee of assholes trying to shut you down and hold you back and not letting you reach that potential that's inside of you. Pure potentiality, one of the 7 spiritual laws. Anyway, and then she really cautions and just really encourages you to go slow. So maybe we'll finger paint at first in the mud. That's fun. I don't know, something like that, right? But going really slow and not being hard on ourselves. What else does she say? She also kind of brings in the ego piece again, and just like being aware that the ego wants us to be the best right away and wants us to, be perfect in everything that we do. And so it's really hard for the ego to take it when it looks like, a toddler drew it or cut it. I have very fine motor control skills. I cut like a toddler. Okay. That's okay. Anyway, And so she kind of said that how recovering from our creative blocks, it's like creative recovery. I like that. And we must be really gentle and slow. And we must be really kind to ourselves, right? And so the recovery can be awkward, could be tentative, and even an embarrassing process, which I think I'm already experiencing. And there are going to be many times when we won't look good to ourselves or to anyone else. When I read that, whoa, and I knew right away I didn't like that at all. And somebody I know is going to know this. But I didn't like that. Ugh, that feeling. And then I knew right away from that feeling that that is something I'm actually going to have to work on, and I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not going to lie. But that's okay. It is what it is, and that's why I'm doing the process, right? All right. So then she kind of goes on and basically, remember, in order to recover as an artist, you must be willing to be a bad artist. You got to be willing to put yourself out there. And you got to be willing to fail. But you also have to be willing to get back up again and do it better next time. Okay. Here's something. Give yourself permission to be a beginner. Wow. You know, that whole giving myself permission is actually a recent thing for me. Well, the year of my first care, or the first year of my self-care journey to my authentic self. I actually learned how to give myself permission. It was weird. And you actually say, I give myself permission, blah, 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 blah. Anyway. So she says you have to do that. And you know what? I give myself permission to be a beginner. I am a beginner. So I'm okay with that. Okay. And then there was also another talking point that I made a note here because I wanted to make sure that I talked about it, was that my whole resistance to being identified as or referring myself as an artist. I don't know if you've noticed that. I've caught myself. I have resistance. So, in my office, right above where I sit, I have this little thing that says, resistance is not defiance. Resistance is that you're going too fast and you need to stop, reroute, and meet them where they're at. I also have in there, change is hard. Anyway. And I say that phrase a lot with people that I work with, come in contact with, my own children, even myself. Resistance is not defiance, is that you're going too fast. And you need to stop and meet them where they're at. Okay. So why am I so resistant to artist? Why? What is that blockage? Because I don't feel that I'm creative. And over my years, I have done things trying to be creative, trying to find the creativity. Hello, look at that. 20 years I've been doing this book. It's funny, actually. So why do I not want to say that I'm an artist? I would love to just have like a big paint board, canvas there, right? And like just paint. I would love that. And it actually looked like something that somebody could look at and would be like, oh, that's a person sitting under a tree. That'd be nice. Actually, I really want to paint. No, seriously. I want to paint what pure potentiality would look like. And for some reason in my head, when I think of that, I think of it as like a field, like an endless, never-ending field of like these white, I want to say daisies, but they're not daisies, but like white flowers that look like daisies all over this field. Just like, and all you can see is like this field of these white daisy looking flowers and then the beautiful blue, right? And light. Like I don't know why I see that. I'm not even into flowers, but that's what I somehow picture it to be. And I would love to draw that. Because I actually have it in my head, this picture. And if I could get that picture out onto a canvas, I would think that would be the coolest thing ever. I would so frame it and hang it up. Probably in my office, because then I'd look at it all the time. Anyway. So why that block of artist? I don't know. I'll work on it. It'll come to me. So that was one thing. Okay. Now, I have to say, like, I had so many different emotions through this. And I really said, what the fuck? Okay, so the next section is about your enemy within, core negative beliefs. Okay, fair enough. And she says that most of the time when we are blocked in an area of our life, it's because we feel safer that way. We may not be happy, but at least we know what we are, and we're okay with being unhappy. Well, we all know that chaos is comfort, right? And if that's all you've had was chaos, and we take that chaos away, that calm is damn well scary. So that kind of makes sense. And then I kind of took that away as much fear of our own creativity is the fear of the unknown. It's always the fear of the unknown when we break it down. Why are we so fearful of our creativity? Like, because maybe you'd be so powerful that, wow, that might be scary. I can actually see that. I'm going to work on that because I can almost answer that question, but I got to process that. Okay. So now it says in my book, read comments about the commonly held negative beliefs. I'm going to read this because I have to. So these are some commonly held negative beliefs. I can't be a successful, prolific, creative artist because everyone will hate me. Okay. I will hurt my friends and family. I'll go crazy. I will abandon my friends and family. I can't spell. Holy man, I have said that about me being a writer or writing a thesis or whatever it may be. I can't spell worth shit. I get it. I don't have good enough ideas. I will upset my mother and or father. I will have to be alone. I will find out I'm gay. And then in brackets, it says, if straight. I will be struck straight if you're already gay. I will do bad work and not know it and look like a fool. I will feel too angry. I will never have any real money. I will get self-destructive and drink, drug, or sex myself to death. I will get cancer, wait for it, AIDS, or a heart attack, or the plague. My lover will leave me. I will die. I will feel bad because I don't deserve to be successful. I will have only one good piece of work in me. It's too late. If I haven't become a fully functioning artist yet, I never will. Okay. Right? Those are some pretty interesting core negative beliefs that artists carry with them. Now, first of all, as you can see here, I don't know if you can see, I wrote in it, right? So AIDS, I laughed. But if you remember that this book right here is 1992, I guess it would make sense because of the 80s, right? Okay, that makes sense. And then the whole thing about being gay, she actually writes about that in here. And I never really thought of it that way, that how some people actually believe that you may be gay if you're a painter. You gotta read it. I don't know. I didn't really get into that part of it. I just thought it was interesting that it was like that. Okay, so any of these. Anyway, basically though, she says that negative beliefs are exactly that. Beliefs, not facts. And then she makes the comment about the world was never flat, although everyone had believed at one point that it was. And some people still do. Okay. So that's okay. I mean, that's all basic, whatever to that. And then the next page, though, she makes a really good point that your core negative beliefs, they keep you scared. So you can say you're not a good artist, or that you can't write, you can't spell, you can't draw a stick man, I can't sculpt, or whatever it is. You can't say words, so you can't be a speaker, right? All those things, the committee of assholes, in her words, the censors, are trying to keep you scared. Because what does fear do? Fear stops you from, well, feeling safe. And if you don't feel safe, you're not going to go explore, you're not going to go out, and you're not going to find your true self, your authentic self, that pure potentiality. Okay, so I thought that was good. And then she kind of, that's all fine, whatever. And then she talks about see, talk about can't saying words. About saying positive affirmations, right? And try to change the negative, challenge them, replace them with a positive, prepare hand. We know how to do all that, and we can talk about that another time for more, which is good. I mean, it's fair enough, and that's what we want to do. We want to be able to do that. And actually, this is where I have this stuff. So what I wanted to say there with the affirmations is that affirmations help achieve a sense of safety and hope. I never thought of it that way, but kind of does. And she kind of acknowledged how saying the affirmations could really sound hokey, that's her word, or embarrassing. And that's where I'm going to say, yeah. So when I started this whole self-care journey to my authentic self, I still do affirmations, and I wrote them out on sticky notes, and I put them like in cupboard doors, in my bathroom mirrors, on my wall in my bedroom, so I see them, you know, when I do the light switch, whatever kind of idea, right? Had them with me all the time, looking at them, but I hid them because I was kind of embarrassed. I even, like, you know, somebody would come into my room, and I would remove them all beforehand. Yeah, that's kind of shitty that I did that, hey? But it was embarrassing. And you know how hard it is to say? Like, well, I have my affirmations, some of them. I have a whole thing, but these are the ones I just took off my mirror right now. Well, not right now, but before I came and did this. I break free from all that is holding me back. That's actually a new one. I release all false projections of myself and embrace my true spirit. I've been saying this one since December 19th, 2021. Legit. I release all false projections of myself and embrace my true spirit. All the answers I seek are within me. I struggle with this one still because that's just it. It's changing. That's the great thing. Okay. So I went through this kind of self-reflection exercise piece that I did with one of my exercises books, right? And it was about all the answers that you seek are within you. But my whole thing, if you look through some of my journaling, it would be screaming, I don't know what the questions are. I don't know. What am I seeking? I fully believe the answers that I seek are within me. I have no idea what the questions are. But I'm starting to now, just recent. So I haven't really formed the full questions, but I'm starting to say, wait a minute, I think it might have something to do with that. So that's pretty cool to see that happen. And I just kind of put that together right now for the first time, and I shared it with you. Yay me. Okay. This one is also new, and I really like it. You are in the process of finding your way into your inner world and the riches it contains. I have a lot of riches in me, and I'm actually really excited to like release it all, rediscover it. There you go. And this is also a new one for me. I don't worry about anything because I know I am right where I need to be. And I know that everything is working out for my greatest good because I trust the divine timing of my life. This has actually been in kind of parts because at first I had been working on the whole accepting where I'm at. I had a really hard time. Still a little struggling, but I'm okay. I accept I'm right where I'm supposed to be right now at this time. In this moment, I am supposed to be here, and I'm okay with that. I'm just really hoping that it's not an extended, long time, but that's a whole other thing. Anyway, so I've been working on that part and working about everything happening for my greatest good, you know, because I've been doing a piece on change for the past year about accepting change that's coming my way and having patience and allowing it to develop and gestate and to weave itself securely into my life. And that this change that's happening is for the best and betterment of me and those I hold dearly. I trust the divine timing of my life. That one I am working on. Anyway, so that's just a couple things to give you an example. What else do I have to share with you? Oh yeah, so then one of the little things that she was talking about is about the affirmations. You pick one and then write it 10 times. This is very interesting. Are you ready? So she gave an example. Where's her example? Hang on. I got it. Just give me 1 second. There it is. It's highlighted in yellow. Huh, who figured? Okay. So she says that she wants you to do, I, Catherine, am brilliant and a prolific painter or potter or poet. So basically it's I, your name, am a brilliant and prolific blank. Okay, you want to see what I wrote? I, Catherine, am a brilliant and creative. I couldn't put artist, like not even kidding. It was like, I can't do artist. It was like I heard the committee of assholes chirp up. You can't say you're an artist. You can't even draw a stick man. Yeah, anyway, we're not gonna go there right now. So she wants you to write an affirmation and write it out 10 times. So I did the I, Catherine, am brilliant and creative, right? Let's start with where I can work with, which is creative. I can accept that. I need that. Okay, let's use that word. So I did that 10 times. And she did talk about how when you say, if you were to do what she was to say, which was, I, Catherine, am a brilliant and prolific painter. She said that if you were to say that 10 times, you would hear the committee of assholes tell you, no, you're not. You can't even, you don't know your colors, or you're colorblind, or you can't, draw a piece of fruit, whatever it is. You would hear that. Interesting, because I wouldn't even go there, so I didn't have to hear it. Wow, that was actually kind of good insight. Okay, credit to me for that. Anyway, and then so she speaks of those thoughts about, you can't even draw a stick man, or you're colorblind, or whatever it is. She refers to that as blurts, like B-L-U-R-T-S, blurt. Yeah. Okay, and then she then wants you to do, which we would all want us to do, is start keeping track of what those blurts are. You're not an artist. You can't even draw a stick man. You're not an artist. You don't know your colors, whatever. Obviously, I'm going to have to work on that. But anyway, that's what she wants us to do, is to recognize those. Now, I was able, and successfully, by the way, to identify and correct, banish, get rid of, dissipate. Ooh, I like that word. Those negative thoughts that I had, the committee assholes used to always say to me. The big one about you being stupid. That's a huge one. I don't hear that all the time. Very rare, actually. I don't even know the last time I heard that. But then they started using loser. That's interesting, but that's another story. Anyway. So I feel really confident that I'm going to be able to identify some things in regards to the artist part. I'm going to work on this. We'll see where let's It's so exciting, right? No, shit, it's gonna hold me accountable. But I'll try to figure out why I have this block about being referred to as an artist. Okay, and that is about it. So basically, what I have said here is I, Catherine, have a real talent. Okay. So that's all that this one is about. Oh, what am I talking about? I'm so sorry, because that's just a summary of the whole chapter, right? Now we have exercises. I know, right? Oh, and I also wanted to share with you about this. You know what? I can make this as long as I want. Why? Because it's mine. Oh my God, I love it. So we can do it longer than 30 minutes. I only need probably another 5 anyway. Okay. I have to say this because it kind of ties in with the whole committee of assholes or the censor trying to bring up that fear, trying to discourage you to stop, trying to find that creative source within you. So she has some affirmations that she was recommending that we use. And I'm telling you, when my eyes just skimmed it right away, I was like, whoa, done. I'm not doing this. I have my own affirmations that I've been working on. I don't need this stuff. I will read you some of them. I am a channel for God's creativity, and my work comes to good. My dreams come from God, and God has the power to accomplish them. As I create and listen, I will be led. Creativity is the Creator's will for me. My creativity heals myself and others. I am allowed to nurture my artist. Through the use of the very simple tools, my creativity will flourish. Through the use of my creativity, I serve the divine. My creativity always leads me to truth and love. My creativity leads me to forgiveness and self-forgiveness. There is a divine plan of goodness for me. There is a divine plan of goodness for my work. As I listen to the Creator within, I am led. As I listen to my creativity, I am led to my Creator. I am willing to create. I am willing to learn to let myself create. I am willing to let the divine create through me. I am willing to be of service through my creativity. I am willing to experience my creative energy. I am willing to use my creative talents. Okay. Now that I reread them, my point is though, like when I had first skimmed that, I was like, whoa, no, not doing it. I got my own. I'm not doing this stuff. What? It's that whole artist thing. I got to really work through that. So what I'm going to do then is pick a couple of them that I will add to my morning, daily sticky notes. And I think the one that I really liked was my creativity heals myself and others. I like that one. And I am allowed to nurture my artist, which is going to be my inner child. And my creativity leads me to forgiveness and self-forgiveness. I like that one. And I like there's a divine plan of goodness for me. There's a divine plan of goodness for my work. I like that one too. As I listen to the Creator within, I am led. I don't know. I'm willing to create. I'm willing to learn to let myself create. That's a good one. I'm willing to be of service through my creativity. Yeah, 100%. I am willing to be of service through, I already said that. I am willing to experience my creative energy. Yeah, I like that. I like energy. I am willing to use my creative talents. Yes. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I will add that to my list of things. All right, now, to wrap it up. We have things that we have to do through this week. We have 10 things we need to do this week. And they're a doozy. I'm not going to read every single one because I'm going to do each one. So, you know, but to give you an idea of what I'll be working on this week. Of course, every morning, the morning pages, we got that one. That was done. Good. Okay. Second one, take yourself on an artist date. So what I'm going to do, let's make it on Saturdays. Saturdays, we're going to have a date. And I just wrote that down. Me and my inner child. However that may look. Okay? You know, one of the things that they have here, which I actually kind of like, is you might give yourself a gold star on your envelope each day you write. Because she says that you should write your 3 pages and then you can put them in an envelope and then put them away because you're not supposed to see them. I'm not doing that. But you know what? I really like the idea of a sticker. And I can put it on my little calendar that I do my daily gratitude and stuff in. Right? So that's what I'm going to do. Go to the dollar store and get stickers. Okay. Time travel is the next one. So they want you to list 3 old enemies of your creative self-worth. We'll talk about that one. And another time travel one, you want to select and write out 1 horror story from your Monster Hall of Fame. I haven't written a story. Oh my God. I don't even know how long. I remember a horror one that I wrote though when I lived in Gibson's. Anyway, so the next one, write a letter to the editor in your defense. I'm not quite sure, but we'll talk about that. Time travel, list 3 old champions of your creative self-worth. So I guess obviously people who must have encouraged you. Time travel again, select and write out 1 happy piece of encouragement, like a thank you letter. And then imaginary lives. If you had 5 other lives to lead, what would you do in each of them? There's more. 9. In working with affirmations and blurts, very often injuries and monsters swim back to us. So we want to keep track of that. That's an exercise in there that she wants you to do. And 10, take your artist for a walk, the 2 of you. A brisk 20-minute walk can dramatically alter consciousness. Damn, and now I'm gonna have to go for walks. I know it sounds bad. I love to walk, but I don't like to be cold, and it is so cold. Okay, anyway, and then you gotta do your weekly check-ins, which we will do. They say when you start. So I actually started this yesterday, which was Monday, right? Yeah, today's Tuesday. So on Sundays, I will do my check-ins. And that is week 1. So I will be doing shorter videos for each exercise that I do. But wow, that's a lot. Yay me for taking this on. And I really don't remember it being this intense. Anyway, thank you for sharing. Well, thank you for allowing me to share. And have a really great night. I got stuff to do.